and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jasmine, and in this video I will show you how to make this Jasmine stitch. Keep watching. So to start off the Jasmine stitch, we will need to start with a foundation puff stitch. This foundation puff stitch is kind of different than a regular foundation chain, but I will take you through it step by step. So first we will start off with a slip knot, like any normal foundation chain, and we will chain 2. Now we have our 2 chains. We will pull up the, like stretch out the loop till it's about 1.5. You can make it bigger or smaller, however you want, until it reaches the nice length. So then you yarn over and you put it through that first chain that we made, or that the same chain the first chain from the hook. We yarn over and we pull through and we stretch it till the top. My yarn in my left hand is very loose because I want to be able to stretch that yarn out properly. So that's one. We'll yarn over, we'll do it again, stretch it out. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. We yarn over and we pull up a loop. So we have 7 on our hook now. So we've yarned over and pull up a loop 3 times. So what I like to do now is I put my finger in here, or above the yarn, and I yarn over. It's a bit tricky, but you should get the hang of it. Then with my finger in there, I pull through all the loops. Now I won't chain here. I'll take my hook and I'll put it through where my finger just was. Then I chain. So you make like a single crochet in there. And that is your 1 puff foundation stitch. So we will be making this, we will do this again. So we'll stretch it out, we yarn over, make sure it's about the same length, and then we will go through the chain one we just did. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. So you have 7 loops on your hook. Put your finger there and you yarn over and you pull through. You go through that hook or through that loop where your finger was just, and you chain. So that is 2. So you stretch it out, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Put your finger here, yarn over, pull through all loops on your hook, put your hook through that where your finger was, and chain 1. Stretch out your yarn, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. Oh, see how I messed up? So I didn't put my finger there. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up a loop. So this stitch is best done really loosely, or generally loosely, because if you have a too tight grip here, it will make your puffs not equal. So it's good to have a semi-loose grip. Oh, I messed up again. A semi-loose grip in your hook, but also the tension on your yarn. So I'll just continue this until I have my desired length. I have 10 foundation puff chains now. So now we can go on to working our Jasmine stitch. So I have my row of puff stitch that I desire. So now we add one more puff stitch to turn our work. So add one more puff stitch. So 1, 2, 3, yarn over and pull through. Put my finger there, pull through all loops on my hook, and single crochet 1. So we'll start off with the actual Jasmine stitch now. So we stretch this one out and we will do the same thing. We pull up a loop and yarn over 3 times. Then we will yarn over one more time and then continue in the next chain space of the previous puff that we did. Put our hook through, yarn over, we pull through, yarn over, we pull through, yarn over, and pull through. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 loops of my hook. We'll yarn over again and we'll go into that 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. Could be that there is like not enough space on your hook, but I am not so worried about that right now. So what we do now is we put our finger here again, we yarn over, and we pull through. I don't have any tension on my yarn hand, and I just wiggle my I didn't even, so that can happen. I apparently wiggled too hard so the yarn came off. Let me just try that over again, so I'm completely confused now as well. I stretch it out, yarn over, go into this one, into my third one. Put my finger here. Now I make sure that I don't lose this yarn on my hook, and I just go through a couple at a time, making sure now that I do not lose my hook or not lose my yarn. We have it there. We put our hook again in replacement of our finger, and we just single crochet one. So see, this is how that cluster of 3 that we just made looks like. So that's our first Jasmine stitch. To start off our next one and the remaining ones, we will be doing the same thing, and we'll always start off in the same chain that we just made. So we just made this one, so we'll start off by stretching out your loop of your hook, yarning over, and put it through that chain we just made. And then we go to the next one, we find our next one, that's the one we also used previously. And then we will find our new chain and we'll put in, pull up a loop in there as well. Put our finger here and take your time passing through all the loops. Keep your tension very loose, but this hand's grip very tight so that you don't lose any stitches. I replace my finger from my hook again, and I will chain one. So that's what it's looking like. So again, stretch it up, we stretch out our loop, and we yarn over and pull through from that first chain. We go to that second chain space, and to our new chain space that we haven't worked in before. Put your finger here, yarn over, and carefully pull through all the loops. Place your finger with the hook and chain one. So that's what we'll do until we reach the end of our row. So would I say that this Jasmine stitch is beginner friendly? I would say it's a high beginner friendly. If you've maybe have already done a couple of simple projects, maybe learned how to double crochet, then I would say, like, you've had many double crochet projects, I would say this would be a relatively easy project. You just need to make sure that your loops are about the same consistent height all over. And you need to know where to place your hook, and where you need to pull up a stitch. So I could definitely use like a regular hook, but I like this one because it has a thumb rest. So I am actually a bit struggling with getting that many loops on my hook, but I'm used to it, so I can deal with it. But if you have these type of hooks, maybe use like a regular without the... Maybe use one that is without the grip, like this one. This one's a bit smaller, but see, it has no grip. So it will be easier to continue like till here or so to have your loops on. But because it's so thin and no grip whatsoever, my wrist starts hurting really, really badly. So I just prefer to struggle a bit instead of having my hand hurt for however long my hand will hurt. See, because I don't have much space here anymore. And my last one will be this one here, so where I started my initial puff foundation stitch. So that is your Jasmine puff stitch. So now when we come to the end of the row, we need to make an extra puff stitch again. So or like a puff foundation chain stitch. So how you would if you do all single crochets, we would need to chain 1 by each turn, but here we make a puff foundation chain. Put my finger there and I pull through. And flip my work and I make my puff stitch, Jasmine stitch in that same one that I just made. Then I come down to this one and then I'll continue in this one again. And that's how we continue down to the next row. So my camera battery died, so I need to repeat what I just said, which is no problem. I was just saying how to remember that with each new like flower petal you're making, to not forget that you need to go into 3 chain spaces. So the first one is the one that you just made, that's the one over here. Then the second chain space is the one down here, and that is the one that in this first flower petal we've already been through once. So we will go through, in this row we will go through it again. And then the next one is the one on the left of it, and that is the one where we haven't gone through yet in this row. So it's always the same. I would call it an old one and a new one. And that is how you remember where to go. So in your next one, you will do the same, old, completely new. And then when we come to the end, don't forget that this is not your last chain space. It's this one, the one at the end here. That is your last chain space. So then once we reach here, like we normally do in each project, either we chain 1, chain 2, chain however many, we do a puff foundation stitch. Those are the ones here at the bottom. So you can rewind and check again how to do that, or I also did it at the beginning of this row. So we do a puff foundation chain. We do a puff foundation chain, and then we flip our work and we go through that same chain again. So each chain space would have gone through it at least 2 times in one row. And yeah, can't wait if you use this stitch to see what you've done. Please tag me on Instagram and then I can see what you've created with this stitch pattern. And personally, I want to probably make a shirt in cotton fabric, and I think that would be really cute. So please share your creations and then we can keep chatting. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment and a like, maybe subscribe, maybe give me a follow on socials. They're in the link down below. I keep you updated there on what I'm doing frequently when it comes to crochet. Please also let me know what you would use this Jasmine stitch for, and then yeah, we can grow and make a nice crochet community. See you in the next video. Bye.